Did you know that nearly 60% of people wouldn't last 72 hours if the power grid went down? It's a harsh reality, right? But it's true. So many people are dependent on the infrastructure that we have, and they have no idea how vulnerable they are. So imagine waking up tomorrow morning, there's no power, there's no water, there's no grocery stores, there's no banks, there's no internet, there's no phone, there's no communications whatsoever. The grid is completely down. In just 72 hours, food can spoil, the water can stop flowing, and the infrastructure that's around you starts to break down. Not to mention, people start going a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? A power outage due to a natural disaster or something like that can go way out of control after 72 hours because families don't have heat or cooling, they don't have food, they don't have water, and they're getting desperate. How long could you survive if you lost all access to modern conveniences? How long could you last with just the skills you have now, the tools you have now, what you have in your home, or what you simply have in your backpack right now? Survival in long-term, grid-down situations can boil down to roughly three things. Number one, how well have you prepared? Secondly is your ability to adapt. And lastly is your community and your resourcefulness. Most people aren't going to last just a few days without outside help. The key is to start preparing now and not waiting until a situation happens. What does your food storage look like? What does your water reserves look like? Do you have backup power solutions? What essential supplies do you have and you keep stocked up with? Please understand this. In a true crisis, those who are going to make it out the other side fine are those who are preparing now, not freaking out and trying to figure it out when it happens. And you can start small with this. You don't have to go all out, tinfoil hat, freaking crazy. Start off with collecting a week's worth of food. Buy an extra thing here and there at the grocery store every week. Get enough for your family to survive a week without any outside influences when it comes to food. Get reliable water filters and ways that you can store water. Get you some backup power solutions. And for God's sakes, at least start learning basic survival skills. So let's just touch on the rule of threes for a minute. In only 3 minutes, without oxygen into our body, into our brains, bad things can happen, right? And that can be from a number of things: an accident, smoke inhalation during a fire, drowning, etc. We can go 3 days without water. Our bodies are mostly water. Dehydration can set in really fast. It can inhibit your ability to think and function. And then we've got 3 hours without shelter. Exposure to the elements can kill you far quicker than dehydration can or hunger can. And then we've got 3 weeks without food. Believe it or not, you can go quite a while without eating. Food is crucial, but water and shelter are bigger priorities. So basically all of us need to have some sort of plan, right? When your water reserves run out, do you know how to procure more and purify it and filter it, etc.? Let's say it's really cold out. Can you keep yourself warm? Can you build a fire? Do you have proper things to keep you warm, like your clothing and things like that? And having a good basic skill set of survival knowledge, right? How to purify water, how to start a fire, how to build shelter, how to find water, and basic navigation. Of course, you want to be able to procure some food somehow. Have it stored up or know how to hunt and fish. Yeah. So what is one survival skill that most people, maybe even including yourself, overlook? That skill is situational awareness. While most people are focusing on fire building or water procurement or shelter building, having good situational awareness may prevent a bad situation from happening altogether. It doesn't matter if you're in a wilderness situation or if you're in an urban situation, situational awareness is a big deal. Can you tell if a storm is rolling in? Are you being aware enough with yourself and others around you to spot dehydration? Are you aware enough to notice that you're in a structure that's unstable? Do you have your eyes up and not staring into your phone all the time and noticing if you're in an area that people may have bad intentions? The difference between safety and danger oftentimes can boil down to situational awareness. So what does situational awareness involve, right? Understanding human behavior, being able to scan your area and see if you can identify people that may or may not have bad intentions. Developing an understanding of human behavior could really be the difference between being in a bad situation or getting out of the situation far before it starts. Situational awareness also includes reading nature's cues, right? Can you make judgments based on animal behavior? Is that a good dog or a bad dog? That can happen in the wilderness, just a stray dog, but you got bears, you got coyotes, other predators, snakes, you get the drift. And lastly, you gotta have escape plans. Whether it's a natural disaster, power outage, an emergency in an unfamiliar area, things to think about. Mastering the skill of situational awareness makes all the other survival skills more effective because you'll be one step ahead of the rest. Lone survival is difficult, okay? You need to know how to work with the community. Do you know how to barter? Do you know how to trade? Do you have deficiencies in certain skill sets that you know somebody that is good in those skill sets? You need to know how to work together with other like-minded people. And by doing that, you greatly increase your chances of getting through whatever situation you may be in. So what's more important when it comes to survival? Is it knowledge or is it equipment? All right, so this is a trick question. I believe the answer is both. When it comes to survival, gear alone is not going to save you, but neither is knowledge if you don't have the tools to execute the knowledge. For instance, a high-end fire starter is useless to you if you don't know how to properly set up to build a fire. And all the survival knowledge in the world isn't going to save you if you don't have the proper tools to execute that knowledge. For instance, a knife, a tarp for a shelter, or ways to purify water. And that's why experienced survivalists train regularly and they carry versatile multi-use tools that are effective for them in case they need it. True preparedness is combining the gear you have with the skill set that you have. But understand that a solid mindset and resourcefulness is going to maximize the effectiveness of the tools that you have at hand. So what's the lesson here? Always be prepared, even when you think you're safe. You need to carry essential gear. You need to know your environment and never assume things are always going to go to plan. The best survivalists and the best preppers out there don't wait for something to happen. They're always prepared. They train for these things and they know what to do in the event that they need to use their skills. You're not scared. It's not a fear tactic. You're just prepared. And that's cool.